Hello and welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. It's the one and only podcast, probably, where we're spending all of 2019 watching films from 94 in chronological order of when they came out. It's the start of Feb. This film came out in the start of Feb of 94. My name's Sandro. Zach's also in the room.
Hey, yes, it is me. And it would be pretty unlucky if there was another podcast reviewing movies from 1994 in 2019 going in chronological order.
Yeah.
That would be rather unfortunate.
It would be. Would we be able to send them a cease and desist because we came up with a concept in, I think it was like October?
Yeah, I don't think we've copyrighted this yet.
We haven't copyrighted the concept.
Don't get any ideas. Anyway.
Oof, if someone else is going to start a show reviewing films from the 94 during 2019, at this point, we got the high ground.
Yeah.
But if you've already started...
Don't try it. Anyway.
If you've listened to any of the previous episodes... You'll be like, oh, they choose what they review together. We're changing that now.
We're changing it right here, right now, because there's actual movies coming out, more than one. We're going to, take turns choosing which movie each week we're going to see.
So we can force each other to watch weird things.
Like if we were friends in 1994, and we were like, hey, what movie do you want to see this week? Well, it's my turn, and I want to see Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
And that's what we're reviewing.
The greatest movie of all time.
That is a pretty big statement. We are reviewing Ace Ventura, Pet Detective this week.
Yeah.
But the other choices that you have to choose from, we're here at the cinema, we're looking up at what's currently showing. The other options are a film called I'll Do Anything, which is a comedy starring Nick Nolte, who I'm pretty sure is in the Mandalorian TV show for Star Wars.
Well, there you go.
I'm pretty sure he's in that. It's a weird casting choice. There's a film called Gunman, which just looks like a trashy action film.
Yeah. Okay.
And my personal favourite, which I'm glad we aren't watching, there's a film called My Father the Hero. And I had a look at the plot, and it is almost identical to Intersection, except it's set in the Bahamas.
Oh no, no, I don't want to think about Intersection.
It's literally the same, except they go to the Bahamas on a vacation.
That's terrible. That is actually the worst.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad we're doing Ace Ventura instead of any of those.
Honestly, I was surprised. Spoiler alert, I was surprised at how well this stood up, you know?
Yeah, to a point.
Better than a lot of other Jim Carrey movies,
I'd say. Definitely better than a lot of his other ones that I've rewatched. Okay. The only one that I've rewatched being The Mask, which I don't like.
What?
I think it's bad.
The Mask? What? But that's a classic.
No, it's bad and it's not funny.
When does The Mask come out?
July 94.
Really?
Yes.
We gotta review the Mask. Yes. It'll be beautiful.
One of my favorite references to Ace Ventura is during Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, really?
Jake Peralta, he's talking about it to one of his co-workers, and he's like, yes, it's great. It's a classic film, one of my childhood favorites, and it only gets overtly transphobic at the end, so it's a win-win.
Yep, there you go. And honestly, that's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Let's go through.
Let's do the setup. We mentioned it last week. 46% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
So, better than a lot of films we've looked at so far.
Better than a lot of comedies,
not
definitely.
The best.
No.
But, it's close to 50%. It could deserve a bit more. I'd give it at least a 50.
Well, because a lot of those reviews would have come out when the film came out, and this was the first proper Jim Carrey film.
That's true.
People could have been like, what? What am I watching?
That is actually very true, because Jim Carrey's acting is he's got his unique style. It's very sort of overacting, very lively. He's always doing weird facial expressions and moving around and stuff.
The film, it did open to some pretty mixed reviews, but, as we know, living in the year 2019, it's definitely a bit of a cult classic.
Yeah, it's guaranteed at this point classic.
It has gotten a bunch of criticism towards the final act, of course. I think there's some...
No. It's a weird scenario, because it's not like it's all bad. Obviously, at the time, it was just a funny sort of twist thing.
Yeah.
But now it's got some weird sort of... you can see some of the old sort of mentality sort of behind it.
Let's go through the team who put it together. It's directed by a guy called Tom Shadyac. He's done a bunch of comedies.
Yeah, he's done a lot of actual, like, good movies.
He's done the 2 Nutty Professor films.
Yeah.
He's done the 2 Ace Ventura films.
Well, that makes sense.
He's done the 2 Almighty films.
Yep, again, makes sense. When does Almighty come out? I want to do Almighty.
It was like early 2000s, I think.
Oh, that's going to take a while.
I don't think I've seen.
But I love Bruce.
I don't think I've seen Bruce Almighty. I've definitely seen
Bruce Almighty.
I've definitely seen Evan Almighty, but I don't think I've seen the original.
Really?
I don't know why.
You saw Evan Almighty, but not Bruce Almighty?
I know I've seen one of them, and I'm pretty sure it's.
Bruce
Evan.
Almighty is so good.
All right,
it's mwah, so good.
I'll take your word for it.
We need to do like a whole Jim Carrey special where we just watch all of Jim Carrey's films.
That would get grating.
Yes.
Oh
boy.
The last film that the director did was back in 2012.
Okay.
But he has had a film in development for like 4 years.
Oh really?
So he might make a return.
What's it called?
I don't know. But
okay.
He's got something in the works.
He's got something in the works.
As we mentioned, of course, stars Jim Carrey. 94 was quite possibly the biggest year of his career. As we mentioned, The Mask came out mid-year, and so did Dumb and Dumber. So,
really?
Yeah.
Wow, he had so many things.
That's
go
another
on
94 film.
He filmed like 3 films.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Wow, he was so busy.
And they're all considered somewhat classics.
Yeah, like Dumb and Dumber.
It's huge.
Classic. The Mask.
It's bad, but it's a classic.
Yeah, they're all classics and still referenced today.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I had a look. Up until this film came out, he hadn't really done anything that I've heard of. Like his more recent films from like 86 to 94 include a film called Peggy Sue Got Married, one called Earth Girls Are Easy.
What?
And of course...
What? Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. Earth Girls Are Easy. I can already see the plot. That is... Oof.
It doesn't sound good. Another one is The Deadpool.
The Deadpool? What?
2 words with Deadpool.
Oh, right. So, here's X-Men ties. Got it.
This film also stars Courtney Cox, of course, who is Monica in Friends. Sean Young is in this, best known for Rachel in Blade Runner. And it also stars a little rapper, a little actor, a little record producer called Tone Lock.
Nice.
He's in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. He's pretty hip with the kids.
Alright, let's do box office. This film cost $15 million.
15 million. Okay.
It's amazing to think that Intersection was more expensive than this.
Yeah, no.
It's just hard
It's
to
not
believe.
Amazing. The amount of stupidity in Intersection, I bet they spent more money on it.
How much do you think this film made?
So it's 15. That's a bit more than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's like I like the film a lot. And
I'll say this much. It is considered the first proper box office hit of 94.
Really?
So,
okay. Well, definitely above the cost.
It's definitely above 15
I'm
million.
going to go... You know what? Let's go 30 million.
Ooh.
30 million. Like, double the cost. You got double the profit.
Maybe triple that?
Triple that.
And a bit more, $107 million.
107? Wow.
It made quite a bit.
Yeah, no, that did really well. Compared to literally all the other movies we've seen. That's like made an actual profit.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad thinking of all the other films we've reviewed so far who've made like a decent amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one.
Well, none of them have got us agreeing that they are a goodie yet. All the other films that we've done, we've enjoyed elements of them, but we have sort of disagreed in any of them when we've rated them a goodie.
True.
So
anyway,
let's go through the plot.
Yeah.
How does it open?
So it starts off with some pretty good music, you know, sort of gets you in the mood as we see like Jim Carrey carrying a package in a FedEx uniform, but not FedEx.
Yeah.
It's like
I think it's UPS. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it's
One
like
of those.
FUPS or something. And he's just throwing this package around, smashing it on the floor. He plays football with it. He like puts it in between elevator doors so the elevator doors slam it.
It's like my expectations were relatively low going into this, just because I'm not too sure whether or not Jim Carrey's antics hold up super well. Okay. But as soon as this first scene came on, I was like, yeah, no, this is a good one.
Yeah, this is alright. This is alright.
It's a good opener.
So he talks to this guy, and while he's signing for this package, he like pets his dog. But then he does a secret little switcheroo and takes like a fake dog out from underneath his like shirt and replaces that with the real dog, and he gets the dog. Anyway, turns out he's not part of FedEx or UPS or whatever.
Wow, what a twist.
He's actually Ace Ventura, pet detective, and he's getting this pet from this evil guy. And so he returns this dog, and instead of receiving like a monetary reward or anything,
if you haven't seen it before, imagine the scene where Dan Aykroyd gets blown by a ghost in Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
and it's that, but like pumped up to 11.
Yeah, he's hanging from the ceiling.
It's not a good business policy.
Yes,
as you
I
said.
remarked it's not a good business policy to receive favors instead of money.
Oh well.
Seeing as as we learn just in the next scene, he owes rent.
Yeah.
2, his car just got busted up.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a funny scene.
He's a struggling entrepreneur.
Yeah. He's struggling because he doesn't get paid for his work.
That's right. We then get a scene where we are introduced to villain-ish of the movie.
Yeah.
We see a hand holding onto the side of a tank of like a pool where a dolphin is being kept.
Yeah.
And the dolphin gets stolen.
Yeah. Bum bum bum. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing, but not really. I
think it's just shot in a weird way. They tried to conceal all the faces, and in doing so, it makes it a little hard to understand exactly what's going on. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of jump cuts and stuff. But we get the idea. There's like a ring shown on screen for a second that's important later. Anyway, so this dolphin gets kidnapped. Yep.
Meanwhile, we have Ace Ventura sort of hiding from his landlord as he tries to sneak in.
As you mentioned before.
But the landlord sneaks up behind him and says, "Oi, Ventura!" And he says, "Yes, Satan." "Oh, sorry, you sounded like someone else."
Look, it's a confusing line, but I love it. It's good. It's real. Yeah. It's a funny one. It's interesting that landlords are always kind of painted as a bit of a villain, a not so nice person. Like, I'm reminded of course, a classic is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films.
Yeah, of course.
And just stuff like that. Especially in this era, we don't really see evil landlords much.
Really?
Recently.
Right now.
I can't think of a film recently where there have been one.
I think. No, I'm sure there is one. I have distinct memories. Did like Venom get kicked out or something?
Was Ven? No, that was his partner who kicked him out. Actually,
no.
There might be a landlord at some.
I think there's
point
still
in Venom.
I think there's still landlord sort of things around.
Once Tom Holland moves out of Aunt May's home, I'm sure we'll get a little reference to that in Spider-Man 4 or 5 or whatever. But yeah.
Anyway, it's like landlords, they're evil because you haven't paid rent.
Because you haven't done the thing in the contract that allows you to live where you live.
Wow. Aren't they evil for kicking you out for not paying your rent? Yeah, no, it's a bit weird, but like, hey guys, just pay your rent. Also, he's kind of a dick to his landlord.
He is. He really
He's
is.
just a really bad tenant. I don't
His
know how
landlord-
he's not getting kicked out.
His landlord's also a nice guy. Like, he's
Yeah,
turning
like-
a blind eye towards so many things.
Yeah, no. Honestly, nice dude. Gets a bad rap.
He really does.
Gets a bad rap.
He's a solid bloke.
Anyway, he closes the door on him and says, "Loser." One of like the 3 things he repeats a few times in this movie.
There is, of course, the alrighty then tagline,
Yeah.
which I counted exactly how many times he said it.
Oh,
We'll
really?
get that information at the end of the episode.
Oh, okay, yeah. He says that.
He says loser a lot.
He has this weird laugh that he does to his, where he sticks out his chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rules of 10.
There's a lot of... Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules of 10 in this film.
Yeah, anyway. So we have this scene where he goes into his apartment, calls out all his animals that have been hiding.
Then we are introduced to the team who have lost the dolphin. The dolphin is revealed to be the mascot of a football.
American football.
They
just call it football, but we call it American
and they
football.
call us Aussie rules. That's right.
Yes,
that's
they
right.
call
I remember
us
now. What game are you playing? Well, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
that's
they
what they call us.
What is soccer? Isn't that just more football?
Hey, the doctor from last episode's back.
Oh, it's me, the doctor. Whoa.
So one of the, I guess the coach.
Yeah, the team owner or whatever. I don't know what
I
that
think it
is.
was the
He
team
like
owner.
owns the team, something like that. Anyway, he's yelling at these guys for losing their mascot,
Yeah.
which is fair enough. I mean,
We're
it wasn't very well guarded.
No, we're introduced to Courtney Cox in this
Yep.
scene. I forgot her character's name, so we'll just call her Courtney Cox.
And the other guy, which I can't remember his name either. What was his name?
I don't know. I can't remember many
He's
of their
not
names.
important. He dies later.
Wow.
Got him. Spoilers.
And so the team owner
Yeah,
is
he's real
like,
pissed.
we've got to get the dolphin. You know, a lot of our team members are superstitious.
Which makes sense in real life.
Yeah.
Sports teams are superstitious and all that.
They need
bad
their
omens.
mascot, you know,
Yeah.
to get them going.
Their mascot being kidnapped's like a bad sign for the game. It can
Mm.
affect team play.
However, you say that, but one
He's
of
got
his
some interesting examples.
interesting examples to why his team members are superstitious. One of them, which is probably like my top 2 favorite quotes from the film, is I've got a player who refuses to wash his jocks because he thinks flies are lucky.
Yeah, he doesn't wash them. It stinks and attracts the flies. Ugh, he thinks they're lucky. That is just a wince right there.
No good.
Yikes. Anyway,
No good. So Courtney Cox is like, I'll hire a pet detective. I was really interested about the tank that we see, the tank that the dolphin was stolen out of.
yeah,
It's just a tank on a football field.
yeah.
You'd think that they would have some security.
Yeah,
They'd
no,
just leave
it
the
is-
top open at all times.
Yeah, as I pointed out,
It's just uncovered.
like no security for this dolphin.
Hmm.
To be fair, you need a lot of equipment to steal said dolphin.
You do. I think that they have a truck and everything, yeah.
Yeah, no. It's pointed out later on because they try and use it to track down whoever's stolen the dolphin. But like, you need a lot of equipment to steal it. But like, someone could have just killed the dolphin. Just came in and just.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was like fences and stuff, and they had to break him. But still,
Well,
it was like
it wasn't even covered.
Well, you don't
just
want to
out
cover it
there
because the
and-
dolphin's in there.
Of course not, yeah.
But you probably want some guards or something.
You want
Oh, wait,
something.
No, they did mention a guard, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, they did mention a guard in one of the scenes, but something about them not talking or like they were asleep or something.
Oh, of course they were asleep. Yeah,
Yeah, the
cool.
classic trope. Anyway.
So Ace is like, I'll check out the tank. So he jumps into the tank, get a pretty solid line, bro. He's like, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. It's a good line.
Yeah.
So he jumps into
This
the old,
empty tank.
The
Yeah.
old, the empty tank. But we get some pretty good Star Trek references.
Yeah. He goes, captain's log, Stargate. Yeah.
I find it pretty funny
Yeah,
because I
it was
am
funny.
watching Star Trek Discovery
Dude,
Season 2
Star Trek's
right
great.
now. It's a lot of people hate Discovery. I think it's
Really?
great. I think it's really, really,
I
really
like
good.
Discovery. Yeah, I thought it was good.
The classic show's good as well. 94. What was airing in 90? I'm pretty sure that's when Voyager and Deep Space Nine were on. So
Oh, really? Okay,
Peak,
well, there you go.
peak Star Trek time.
Peak Star Trek time. He's getting those relevant jokes in there.
So
Bam.
relevant. I will say this: a lot of the pop culture references and parodies in this film still hold up. Like I understood all of them.
It's good.
So it's good.
That's the thing. That's what I was saying before. Like this movie and other of his movies that come out this year are still referenced nowadays. Like with silly clips and other things like that. Still referenced.
Definitely.
Like they've held up real well. Anyway.
While he's in the tank, a bunch of news people run up trying to interview Courtney Cox, and they're like, "Hey, where's the dolphin? We want to get some images of the dolphin showing off its new move so that we can play it on the news."
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's very strange.
Again, weird story that they're going for.
Again, it's very similar to Iron Will in that I'm pretty sure not that many people would care about this particular thing in this particular sport.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much the movie creating a universe where it's the most important thing in that world at that time.
Yeah.
So when he's in the tank, he finds a diamond, or at least a piece of a diamond.
While he's sifting through the filter.
He finds it and he's like, "Whoa!" That's not his voice. Whoa!
Whoa! Radical bros! Look what I found! It's a diamond!
Radical bros.
Radical! My dudes! Let's go!
Oh no!
Let's split up!
That would, oh man. Is there a Jim Carrey film where he says radical?
No.
I wish there was. That would be so good.
We need to look it up, see if he says it. Radical!
A film
Wow!
where he's like a surfer or a skateboarder.
Oh
and he's
no,
just,
that would be so
radical all the
bad.
time.
Oh jeez.
So he takes this diamond that he found, he takes it over to the police station, and he meets up with one of his friends there, of course played by the rapper that we mentioned earlier.
He's cool.
He's a good actor as well.
He's cool.
I like how he's playing everything so seriously.
Yeah.
It's a really
cool comedy movie. Yeah, no, it's a good contrast. It's good. He's just trying to do his job, and Jim Carrey's he has a funny scene.
Now you found it funny. I didn't.
A hilarious scene where he goes, "Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a question," while he's holding his butt as if it's asking him a question. Hilarious. Peak of comedy.
This scene goes on for 3
It
minutes.
does. It goes on way too long.
Again, the rule of 10.
Yeah, the rule of 10, where his ass is trying to threaten this officer into giving him the evidence.
The police captain walks in, Rachel from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It's obvious they've got a bit of a feud. They don't get along.
There's a bit of angry sort of sparks between them,
And she's like, "You better
what the hell?
stay off this case."
Who let the freaking Dr. Zeus in here?
Dr. Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle made way more sense as a joke.
What's that film again? Eddie Murphy, that's right.
Yeah, good film.
No.
Anyway, moving on. What do you mean, nah?
I personally prefer the original 60s musical Dr. Doolittle.
Oh, damn.
In all seriousness, don't watch that musical. It's awful.
Oh,
it's
really?
really bad.
Okay. Good to know.
Jim Carrey is like, "I'm going to keep looking into it. Maybe I'll give you a call when I find something out. Is your number still 911?
The jokes. Some of these jokes are real good. Some of them are not. Not at all.
It's a big mixed bag.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
I like that one. It isn't necessarily...
See, I don't like that one. I like ask you a question, though.
And that is the difference between us. Yep.
Yeah.
Oof. We cut to, of all things, a heavy metal concert.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a weird, why this is in the movie, not sure.
No.
I mean, they have one joke where he's, asking a metalhead if someone's here, but the metalhead is, currently banging his head, so he takes that as a yes. That's about it. I don't know. Otherwise, don't know why there's a metal concert in the middle of this movie.
I'm not too sure. I know when I was doing research for the film, there was something that popped up about a metal song that was pretty popular, like around that time. But
all right.
It still feels a little out of place.
Anyway, so he goes and meets up with one of his friends, which is like this hacker dude who's got this whole like secret base.
He's got a secret base underneath a concert venue.
Yeah.
It's not. I guess that the music would mask the sound of him doing his work.
Yeah, and all the electrical equipment and power usage.
That
think
does,
about it.
Like, that makes sense. But is it the best place to put something? I don't know.
I mean, no one would suspect it. I think it's a good spot.
Okay.
Great spot.
Well, I'm
Best
on the
spot.
fence, but it's
Best
pretty good.
spot.
All right.
And apparently this guy like just likes to mess with whaling ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I'm alright with. Well,
Zach's all right with messing with whaling ships.
yeah. Messing up their days so they can't go and attack whales.
Exactly.
Are you on the side of going and murdering whales, Sandro?
I just
Is that what
didn't-
you're saying?
I just didn't
News
think through.
in. News in, fellas.
Wow, good work on
Sandro
turning that around.
hates whales. Yeah, got you good, Sandro. That's what you get for trying to pull one on old Zachy. Boy.
Dear
anyway,
me.
so he gets his friend to go through, do the classic 90s hacking to find out who's bought pool equipment or stuff that would hold a dolphin. And
he
it
found
leads to one man.
One man who just happens to be throwing a party that evening.
Yes,
or the following evening. One of them. Time in film doesn't matter. You know what I mean.
It's this like rich entrepreneur guy who's a big fish collector. Bum bum bum.
So Ace Ventura is like, "Hey, Courtney Cox, I really should get the character's name up, but I'm not going to. Hey,
Right.
Courtney Cox, do you want to go to this party and try
Yeah.
and see if this person's got your whale?" And so
Whale?
they and
It's
Damn
a
it.
dolphin.
Still caught up on
How
whales.
dare you? I know you hate those whales so much, Sandro, but you need to stop obsessing over them. Anyway.
They go to the party, and when she's trying to introduce him to the person who is running the party, she comes up with like a
Yeah, because
pseudonym.
she's going to go Ace and then realizes that he probably shouldn't use his real name. Tom Ace. This is a great nickname. Great.
I'm not sure about it.
What do you
Because
mean?
Tom is a solid first name, but
Yeah.
Ace is the last name. I think it would have made sense if she went and made up the last name instead of the first name.
Yeah, but like she was doing it on the fly.
Whatever.
Anyway, and she says he's from law school, and he makes like, he obviously knows a bit about law school because he makes a joke about billionaires making their fortune off food poisoning people, and then says he's going to go look at the food, and which makes the rich guy look very nervous.
So he sneaks off.
Yeah, he
sneaks
excuses
off
himself, goes
try-
to the toilet.
Yep.
Yeah.
To try and find some possible dolphins.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a Mission Impossible sequence.
Yeah, it's a very funny, silly scene where he like sneaks out the window of the toilet.
It's quite
then stealths around like just a corner, but takes like 3 minutes to go around a corner. He could have just walked around.
It's pretty similar to like a Johnny English sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a very
much.
sort of Johnny English sort
really
of
liked
sneaking scene. Yeah, it was funny.
Anyway, he finds a tank. He thinks it's the dolphin tank, but
Yeah.
no, it's the shark tank.
Bum bum bum. 5 minutes later, he comes out of the toilet he's left, drenched in water, with his pants shredded.
Shredded to pieces.
Absolutely shredded. They're like, oh, don't go in there. Yeah, anyway, they leave. Just before he leaves, the guy shakes his hand and he, like, grabs his arm so he can check the ring. It has very similar gems to the one he found in the pool. Bum, bum, bum.
So he does some research. He finds out that these gems were given out to a particular football team.
Cup rings, you know?
Yeah.
For the Dolphins.
Yeah. That's right, because the team is called the Dolphins. We haven't mentioned that yet, but the team is called the Dolphins.
By the
'cause
way,
their
they're called the
mascot's a
Dolphins, and their mascot is a dolphin.
Look, we don't do any better in Australia.
Yeah.
So.
We are the koalas. Our mascot is a wombat.
We are the Blues. Our mascot is a blue person.
Is a bluebird.
Is that team still around?
What?
I had some friends who are really into the AFL trading cards, and I had a
Yep.
couple of them that were for a team called the Blues, and I
Really?
remember the mascot just being like a blue superhero. I'm thinking that's not very creative.
One, that's weird. Two, you're stretching my sport knowledge way beyond its limits. Like, I can play a sport and know maybe the rules. That's about it. You have gone way far beyond that. Anyway.
Anyways, so he tracks down all the team members from the Dolphins after he finds out that there's no diamonds missing from any of these people's
Yeah,
rings.
he's checked out all of them, and
every single one.
None of them are missing any diamonds, and he's very like, "Damn, I thought for sure that would be it," sort of thing.
Then we cut to a pretty inconsequential scene, but the head of the Dolphins
Yeah,
has supposedly committed suicide and jumped off the building.
Yeah,
Long story short, Ace Ventura finds out that he hasn't.
yeah, he
That
does
someone
some
pushed him.
quick detective work, and bam, he proves by opening and shutting the door that you couldn't hear him screaming if the door was shut.
Yes, because one of the staff members in the building is like, well, I heard him screaming and I walked in and he wasn't there.
No, the neighbor.
The neighbor, yes.
Which is like a very famous scene that's still shared around, because it's a good scene.
It's an interesting scene because it doesn't really mean anything towards the rest of the film. Like,
No.
the whole plot point of the team
but it
leader
shows
dying.
that it's all connected.
Yeah. Of course, the scene with the sliding door is a classic, though.
Anyway,
Then Ace and Courtney Cox are like, let's look through some receipts.
they have a scene where they're talking. Obviously, she's fallen in love with him.
Yeah, they tease a bit of the relationship, which is, look,
Because they're main characters.
The
and
only
of course they have
film
to
that-
fall in love.
the only film that this hasn't happened in so far is Iron Will.
Yeah,
And,
like they
it's
hinted
pretty-
at a love thing at the very start of Iron Will, but apart from that, yeah, no.
yeah, like, it's a cliche that I'm pretty happy
Yeah.
we're starting to leave behind. Like with Bumblebee. They sort
Bumblebee?
of teased that they're not going to do that. And I really
there
like
you go.
that.
Anyway,
We're slowly going away from the cliche in which the main characters have to fall in love.
yay, they fall in love, and so he's like, "Oh, it's not safe to go back to your place. You should come back to mine." Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Cue the lion
Cue the
sleeps
best
tonight.
music choice ever.
It's an interesting yeah.
Who did?
It's
who
a good
did
song.
The music, like who chose?
Oh,
the
Lion
tracks?
Sleeps Tonight. It's a classic.
That was a great choice. It was so funny with like all these animals just sort of sitting there watching as they're having a good old time to the lion sleeps tonight.
He's
it's
pretty
very silly.
He's a very energetic bloke.
Yeah, he's that's all we could say. As like the bed's literally just slamming against the wall. This landlord should kick him out. Far out.
So he decides to check out one of the members of the Dolphins.
Yep.
Called Ray Finkler.
He discovers him on a poster and is like, "Wait, who's this player?
Yeah.
He's not on this picture." And she's like, "Oh yeah, he joined in halfway through." And he's like, "Oh."
Yep, exactly
it's-
that noise.
So it's the last guy that he hasn't checked if he's missing thing.
And so he goes to his hometown. We know that it's its hometown because as we enter the city,
Yeah.
there is a billboard that says, "Welcome to this town, the home of Roy Finkler." But the sign says Roy Stinkler.
Stinkler. Haha. See, we've gotten
Good joke.
Finkler, changed it to Stinkler.
I'm always a little skeptical about scenes where someone has graffitied something.
Yeah, so
Because
first
it wouldn't
off,
be that clean.
they've got a whole billboard for this one guy.
Yeah, it's pretty full on.
Like, is this town have nothing? I guess it's like, sure, the town's very proud of this guy, except it's an old sign because, as we find out, he messed up the Super Bowl. He cost them. They were off by 1 point, and he missed the final shot, which he blames one of the other teammates for lacing the ball wrong.
Yeah.
It should have been laced out or something.
Yeah, we find out later that he blames his co-football.
His teammate.
His teammate. I don't know why he got the word teammate all of a sudden.
Yeah.
He forgets his teammate, whose name is Dan Mariano.
Yeah. Ace Ventura's, by this point, figured it out that maybe this footballer that this other guy's obsessed over and has a room full of, like, pictures of him with knives in him saying, die, probably wants to kill him.
Probably. So Ace Ventura goes, I need to go save Dan. We then cut to Dan. He's shooting a commercial for the upcoming football game.
Yeah, it's
a
funny.
bunch of people just pick him up and carry him out. And it's like, at first you're like, oh, it's a part of the ad.
Yes.
Then it's revealed that they're stealing him, and I thought that was a pretty fun reveal.
So he gets kidnapped. Ace Ventura doesn't quite get there in time. There's a sort of chase scene that they have in the cars.
It's a really solid car chase. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he gets shot at. He catches a bullet in his teeth.
I didn't like that part particularly.
Which
the rest was pretty
probably
good.
the most unrealistic bit about this movie. Because you can't do that.
So Ace finds out that Ray was admitted to a mental hospital.
Yeah.
After that they found all these things scribbled on his walls. So he goes to commit himself to that hospital to try
Because obviously that's what you've got to do. If
Yeah.
you know someone's been in a mental hospital, you have to pretend to have mental illnesses to infiltrate.
Of course. So he does.
Yeah.
I was a little... I don't know, but the scenes coming after this, like his Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, it started like wear off a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know. I think just for this scene, because he's trying to pretend to be a footballer, that sort of throws him off a bit of his normal Jim Carrey stuff.
It's a little weird.
If they had just told... And I think if you just let Jim Carrey be him, that would have been better. But anyway, it's just a small scene. He finds a whole bunch of Ray's stuff. And he finds a old newspaper saying that the police chief, Lois something,
yeah.
went missing at some point. And he's like, they're connected somehow.
And this is where the film...
Yeah, it takes a weird turn.
There's got to be a connection. He's like, what is it?
So he's thinking about it all night, and then nearly by morning, the dog goes to check over if he's alright. He yells at the dog. The dog's like, oh. He goes over and sits on the table, and his hair sort of lies on top of the pictures, and he sees a picture of Ray, but the dog's hair has gone around its head as if it had long hair.
Sort of
and he's
like,
like,
wait a second.
Oh my god, they're
Ray
the
is
same
Lois.
person.
And then it's the scene where he throws up. I completely forgot that, like, I knew that this scene was coming.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty problematic scene, but I didn't remember, like, how impactful it was, like, for the story. I thought it was just a throwaway scene.
No,
it's the entire
really
third act.
Important. It's like the whole twist. So Ray heard about this woman going missing.
Yeah.
Found her, kidnapped or whatever. We don't actually know what's actually happened to the original her.
I'm pretty sure Ray would have had to kill her to keep it under wraps.
Then, like, get surgery or whatever to be her and impersonates her for the rest
go
of
back
the
to
film.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's a bit of a problematic scene, and obviously, if we bring it back to, like, if we would make these movies nowadays, we wouldn't do something like that. We'd definitely make the scene a lot better.
Yeah. Ace realizes this and goes, Lois must be hiding
The dolphin.
the dolphin and the nemesis away.
Yeah. He follows her car,
Yeah.
and she goes to, like, the docks or whatever.
Yeah.
And he sneaks inside.
There's this one scene
Yeah.
where there are these two people standing next to each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got to sneak past him. I've got to knock him out. His plan is to get an anchor
Yeah.
and just slam it into their heads. That would not knock them out. That would kill them. They're dead. They're not
it's
coming
not necessarily...
back.
Okay, all right. Here's where I argue different. I
Okay.
say it's not knocking into their heads because we don't actually see it impact them.
That's
it,
true.
like, has a, like, cut to another scene, but hear what happens in the other scene. I think it just, like, knocks into them. You know the scene with the bucket from Home Alone where it just sort of swings into the
Yeah,
home
yeah.
intruders, just like that.
Okay.
That's what I think is supposed to be indicated by that scene, but we don't actually see it happen.
We don't see
it's
it happen.
It's a great. It would still cause a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the scene in Home Alone where he probably could have murdered two home intruders.
Everything in Home Alone would have caused a lot of damage.
Yeah, to be fair, that kid should be arrested. That kid should put in juvenile detention.
Was there a Home Alone film in '94? I sort of wish there was. I kind of
Yeah.
feel like watching one
Anyway.
this year. Anyway, the fight scene where he confronts Lois and they have a bit of a fight, that's pretty brutal as well.
Yeah, no, that's a good fight scene.
It is surprisingly solid, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fight scene. She like beats him up because he's like a lanky detective man. They have a funny scene beforehand where she's threatening him with a gun and he's like breaking down and crying.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, and then they have a fight scene. She beats him up, and then the cops arrive. They point guns at everyone.
Yeah. And then
There's a reveal scene where he tries to reveal by
That's it.
stripping her down,
yeah.
which is a pretty awkward scene nowadays looking on it. It's like, oh, that's not...
Yeah, it's a pretty awkward scene.
Yeah, no, it's an awkward scene. But then they all sort of throw up after the reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
The film doesn't end on a super sour note, though. We do, after the dolphin is recovered,
Woohoo!
everything's good.
Yep.
We get a scene where he's at the football game
Yep.
and he sees a
dove. A
and-
dove which he's been looking for at the start of the movie. It was worth $25,000.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And he like tries to sneak up on it, but then the mascot scares it off by accident.
The mascot for the opposite team.
Yep.
And so he gets in a fight with that mascot.
Yep. Beats the hell out of it.
And when the announcer is like, and we'd like to thank Ace Ventura for helping out recover the dolphin, all the images just on him bashing up.
Yep.
The
And
eagle.
then he sort of smiles at the camera and goes like, yeah!
End of film.
That's it. Overall, I think pretty good.
I think right up until maybe the final,
Yeah, the weird
20
sort of
minutes, it's like,
transphobic thing.
ugh.
Yeah.
but up until that point, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's actually a really good film. It holds up way better than I thought it was going
Definitely.
to do.
I did mention at the start that I was counting how many times he said his tagline.
Oh, yeah?
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Only 5 times.
Only 5 times, really?
Not much.
I mean, for a normal, regular human being, a lot. But for Jim Carrey, not very much.
Not very much.
So there you go.
Yeah. So what are you going to...
Gotta give it a goodie. Gotta
give
give
it a
that
goodie.
one a goodie. And probably this film, out of all the films we see, deserved it the most.
Okay.
Obviously, trans scene, not great.
Yeah.
Should probably change that, but yeah.
Again, aside from the last maybe
Yeah.
20 minutes, I agree with you. Because it is such an iconic film.
Yeah,
There are
it
so
is
many
so
iconic
iconic.
scenes. It did launch Jim Carrey's career. Very
Yeah.
good comedic actor. I know that he's inspired tons and tons of comedians. And,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
comedic actors. So
He's been a great influence.
now that we have wrapped that up, we've got the ratings. Do you want to know the future of the Ace Ventura franchise, where it went in future years?
Yeah, please, do tell.
So they rushed out a sequel
Yeah.
called When Nature Calls,
Uh-huh.
which was released around the end of '95.
Oh, what a title.
That film cost $30 million.
Ooh.
How much did it make? How much do you think it made?
35.
$212 million.
What?
It was a huge success,
Wow.
but it got terrible reviews.
Yeah, no. Have you seen it?
I think so.
I don't remember
Don't
seeing it.
know.
I don't think I've seen it.
I'm not too sure. You'd think that they would make a third film.
Yep.
They did not. There was an animated TV show that aired from 95 to 2000
Damn.
with a guy called Michael Dangerfield playing Ace Ventura.
Okay.
There was a final sort of straight-to-DVD movie called
Yep.
Ace Ventura Jr.,
Okay.
which is about his son,
Well, there you go.
and that was a complete failure.
Yep.
And there
Sounds
is
about right.
no talks on bringing it back at all. So
Yep.
it's interesting that there
Sounds
were two...
like it was probably deserved.
Yeah, it's very interesting that there were two films that
Yeah.
were successes, and the only one that they followed it up with was his son.
Yeah. Did any of the other ones have Jim Carrey in it?
When Nature Calls did.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But that's it. No.
And that one did really well. And the other ones didn't.
No. Would you want to see a proper third one with him returning?
Yes. Smash it down. I would see it with an instant.
Interesting.
Just to see how good and or bad it would be.
I can't think of any films where he's returned to that old, aside from Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah.
Which was god-awful.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Aside from that, I can't think of any...
Honestly, I try and avoid sequels.
Yeah.
If the first movie's good, I knew 90% of the time, the second film's either just going to be on par or just way worse.
Now, it's interesting that you say sequels.
Oh, really?
Because next week, I have 2 films to choose from.
Oh, really?
For next episode.
Do tell.
One of them is a action comedy called The Getaway.
The Getaway?
It stars Alec Baldwin, so I was a little tempted.
Yeah, no, he's good.
But the other choice... I think I'm going to go for the other choice.
Okay, this choice, yeah.
It's called My Girl 2.
Huh?
It's a sequel to a film called My Girl.
Oh, no.
From 91.
I don't like this already.
It is a coming-of-age comedy.
Oh, boy.
That
favorite type
stars
of comedies.
Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis. I really enjoy Jamie Lee Curtis' work. She's a great actress.
Good.
Dan Aykroyd, of course, from Ghostbusters fame.
Yep. Good stuff.
So next week, My Girl 2.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
I don't mind coming-of-age comedies.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of the older ones would hold up, but I do really enjoy the modern-day ones. I think they're fun.
Yeah.
It is a sequel, though.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this? I do sort of want to watch the original one.
Yeah. It depends. I don't know. If we can find a good copy of the first one, maybe we'll watch that first, see if we get some contact.
Maybe one of us can just watch the sequel, and then one of us can watch the original as well. And we can, compare notes on whether or not it works as a standalone.
Interesting. Yeah. So one of us will watch it and the sequel, and one of us will just watch the sequel. That's a good idea.
We might do that. Who should watch the original?
You. Have fun with that.
Fine.
You're the one who wanted to watch it. I don't want to touch it. This movie sounds garbage.
Alright, next week, my choice, My Girl 2. Hope you can join us.
Yeah. Leave a review or a rating or something on your device of choice, your iTunes, your Spotify's, your
Stitcher. I think you can leave reviews there. We've got
YouTube.
We've got
your tubes. Look up the Oldies but Goodies on the tubes.
We are on
YouTube. Hit that like, hit that subscribe.
4 YouTube episodes drop every Monday, not every Friday, because it takes a little bit longer. We have gotten some really nice reviews on iTunes.
Oh, really?
We've already gotten enough ratings for the average rating to be shown.
Yep.
Which, for iTunes, that takes quite a bit.
So that's good. That's good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So much to everyone who has left a review. Shout outs to Dan Durson Music.
Oh, there you go.
Who has said that the hosts are very funny and will leave you in stitches.
Well, he clearly didn't listen to the podcast.
Catty as well, thank you for your review. This is Izzy, who says the name says it all.
There you go. Thanks, review. Izzy.
Lucille as well, who's posted up a very nice review saying hilarious stuff, easy to follow if you haven't seen the film, very entertaining plot summaries with quality comedic paraphrasing.
Yes!
That's exactly what we were going for.
Dude, I want that on a plaque.
Yeah. Quality
comedy paraphrasing. There you go. That's great. I love that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So if you do want to leave a review, please do. It helps the show out a lot. It helps us get the show in front of more people.
Yeah.
But we do always end with our favourite quote from the film that we just saw.
So, what's your favourite quote, Sandra?
There's quite a few, but I think I'm going to go the one with the team leader, the team owner, coming in, being like, there's some superstitious players. I got a player who refuses to wash his jocks because he thinks flies are lucky. I think that's probably my favourite quote.
Yes, Satan? Oh, oops, sorry, you sounded like someone else.
Damn me. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Bye.